What's up, everybody? I'm John Salter, and welcome to my Full Blast channel. Today, I have an accessory for you that I've been waiting for since the launch of the Switch 2, and that is the Mobapad Joy-Con Adapter. And I haven't necessarily been waiting for the Mobapad Joy-Con Adapter. I've just been waiting for any good quality manufactured Joy-Con adapter. I've 3D printed pretty much every 3D print out there, and none of them just seem to fit right, or they're a pain to get the magnets in, and they don't click and sit in there. They just don't work as well as a regular Switch 2 Joy-Con. And I'm actually kind of shocked that nobody else has released one yet, because this is something I think every Switch 2 owner, whether you have a Switch 1 or not, should have, because there are plenty of Switch 1 grips out there that work really well that you can use on your Switch 2 using this adapter. So I don't want to waste too much time in this. I want to show you everything that this has, show you everything that I like and don't like about it, in a fairly quick review here, so let's get going. I'm usually not that guy that's just like, wow, look at this packaging, that's amazing, but this is really nice packaging. It's got quality control stickers inside as well. Now, when you pull these out and hold them in your hand for the first time, you're gonna notice right off the bat that they have some weight to them, and that's because we have metal rails for the Joy-Con 1s, and we also have two nice size metal tabs for the magnets on the Switch 2. We'll also notice that not only do you have the standard notch that goes into your Switch 2, like a regular Switch 2 Joy-Con, it also has a lip around the outside. So it just doesn't rely on sitting inside that slot. It also wraps around that slot, which allows it to sit tightly in there. It barely even moves. I don't think it moves at all while it's in there. And you can hear it snap into place. And you can pull it off, but it's not that easy. And you have a lever at the top that allows you to pull it off, just kind of like the lever on the Switch 2 Joy-Con. So these are quality. These smoke any 3D printed Joy-Con adapters I made, because for the simple fact that you have these nice metal tabs and it just sits in nice. This is nice. I am blown away at how well these are made. So test number one, they snap into the Switch 2 perfectly. These are awesome. Right off the top, they're awesome. Keep in mind, though, that it's very close to your screen protector if you have one, which you should. So when you snap that on there, that sits right at the edge of your screen protector. So if your screen protector is on crooked and it's hanging over into this plastic zone on the edge, this adapter might hit it. So just keep that in mind. So, if you do have a screen protector, you may have to take it off and put a new one on if you want to use these, if it's off center. Other than that, that's the only thing I'd worry about. These are awesome. That's done. We are done with that portion of the review. They sit on the Switch. Awesome. I love it so far. So number two, how do the Joy-Cons slide on your Switch 1 Joy-Cons? So we'll grab our Switch 1 Joy-Con and we'll just slide it on. It's not rocket science here. So it sits on there. It's a little loose. I don't think it's a detriment to it, but it could be a little tighter. I'm not hating on it, but it would be nice if it's a little tighter, but I can live with it. And let's just see if it's the one side. Let's put the right side on. So we'll snap that in, and that's exactly the same. So my guess is that's how the metal rail is manufactured. They just have a little bit of play. And I'm not hating on that. That's not going to be a detriment to gameplay at all. I just wish it was a little tighter, but not a big deal. So let's go ahead and snap it on the Switch 2. Snap the Joy-Cons on from the Switch 1. So now we basically have it set up just like we would if we're playing it. And again, you can feel that. Some people might not like that, but I'm fine with it. Now, I purchased mine the week they came out, and they had a deal that week for an even $20, and they are well worth the $20. And I don't know what they are full price. I want to say it's 23 something, but let's just say they're $25. These are easily worth the $25 because these fit awesome. These are great. I am just blown away at how good these are. So let's go ahead and put these back on, and let's go ahead and try them with the Nixie Hyperion Pro. So when I first tried these with the Nixie, I noticed that when I was sliding them on, it was hitting something. You can hear it hit. And it wasn't that they're tight, it's that they're actually hitting something. Something's in the way. So I'm looking around, and I didn't want to totally crank them on there and mess something up because I knew something wasn't right. So I flipped it over, and I noticed that there's a little edge, a little extra piece that sticks up from the back that, in my opinion, is not needed. Because if you put this on your Switch 2 and you put a regular Switch 1 Joy-Con, slide that on there, that little ridge in the back that's hitting the Nixie does not do anything to help with support. So when you're using these adapters with a Nintendo Switch Joy-Con 1, all the weight, if you're holding it, is pulling down, which is putting all the pressure and tension up on the Joy-Con. So if anything, you would need a strut on this side, but for some reason they put this strut on the back. So this is not in any way, shape, or form giving support to these Joy-Cons because all your weight's down like this. Now, if you're laying in bed looking up and playing it, sure, but the majority of people are going to be holding it like this. So this is not needed. This strut is not needed at all. So what I think what's happening here is I believe that Mobapad put that strut on the back to eliminate grips like the Nixie fitting on here, because this strut is not needed for anything at all. But I'm just going to Dremel that off and my Nixie should fit fine. And I'm going to save that for a separate video because I want to get through this quickly. And if I want to nitpick a little bit, it doesn't connect to the electronics. So when you snap it in, slide on your Switch 1 Joy-Con, it's not going to charge that Joy-Con. And it's also not directly connecting. So your straight Bluetooth connection with any Switch 1 Joy-Con you're using. But the connection's fine. There's no lag, no anything. It works perfectly fine. So I can't nitpick and say, well, it doesn't charge. But I don't care. I'm giving these an A+. And that might sound crazy because we have a little bit of wobble. Not much more than your Switch 1, but we do have a little bit more wobble. We have the stopper, which is going to stop me from using my Nixie and probably other third-party grips. And we don't have the electronics connection to charge. But I don't care. These things fit great. These smoke every single 3D printed print I've tried with every type of magnet. I mean, this blows it away. These fit great. These things are awesome. Mobapad did an amazing job. These things are sturdy. Metal bracket. Nice, large, snappy metal tabs. This thing's awesome. Love it. I highly suggest purchasing this because this opens the door to buy any quality Switch 1 grip. All that being said, I 100% believe this is a must-have accessory for your Switch 2. If you don't have the ability to buzz off that stopper and you want to use a Nixie, then you might not want to get them. But other than that, these things work great. And the Mobapad grip works fine with this. Obviously, that's why they made this. And I'm sure there's some other third-party grips that'll work as well, but I can't tell you which ones those are because I only have the Nixie to test. So, highly recommended Mobapad Joy-Con adapters for your Switch 2, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.